I got the moves. I got the moves. I'm making moves. You gotta move. You gotta make the city move. Like, whoa. I make the city move. I got the move.
The off-season has officially hit us NBA fans. There is no news, no drama, nothing much to talk about. The next NBA season is ages away, a good few months, so a lot of NBA fans are making predictions about next season. A common prediction I've noticed is that Devin Booker will request a trade out of Phoenix due to the lack of winning there. And though I do think that his departure from that club is likely, there is another player in a similar situation who should request a trade next season if things don't improve. His name is Karl Anthony Towns. If you're new here and enjoy the video, be sure to subscribe for more NBA content. But with that being said, let's talk about Karl Anthony Towns. Karl Anthony Towns is one of the best young players in the league. After only 4 NBA seasons, he's become a multiple-time All-Star and arguably the best center in the league. During his young career, he's steadily improved over each season and has been dominant since day dot, including last season where he averaged 24.4 points, 12.4 rebounds and 1.6 blocks in 33 minutes of action. He also shot incredibly well from the field, over 50%. He's also shown his capability to stretch the floor. He shot 40% from 3, amazing for a player of his size. Now with Tom Thibodeau finally gone and a new head coach running Minnesota, there's a chance Towns becomes even better next season. But even if he does improve with a new head coach, there is one problem: his supporting cast. Prior to the 2017 NBA draft, the Minnesota Timberwolves had one of the best young cores in the entire league. Zach LaVine, Andrew Wiggins, Karl Anthony Towns, even Chris Dunn looked like he could become somewhat decent. But after a couple of poor seasons, the Timberwolves front office decided to blow everything up by trading away a good part of their young core, including their draft pick for that year, for Jimmy Butler. At the time, it seemed like a great move for Minnesota. Jimmy Butler was the certified star the squad needed, so they could finally make a playoff push, and they did, finishing as an 8th seed. But after just one season, this move has completely backfired. Jimmy Butler is now gone, and in return, they got Robert Covington and Jarrett Culver, as Saric was moved for him this offseason on draft day. The Bulls, whom Butler was traded from, now have a stacked roster for the future, including perennial All-Star Zach LaVine and potential star Lauri Markkanen, who was drafted with Minnesota's traded pick to Chicago. These players could have all been on the Wolves roster right now, with a certain bright future. But as of right now, the only player on Minnesota with a certain bright future is Cat himself. You could say that Wiggins is too, but after some disgraceful years of basketball, I have lost a lot of faith in his ability to become an all-star, and so have a lot of the NBA community. This leaves Towns in a pretty bad situation. He's stuck on a lackluster team, and he is the main star. He doesn't have nearly enough talent around him for the Wolves to make any sort of playoff push, and there's a good chance they finish near the bottom of the standings due to the Western Conference being so packed. So, what does he do? Well, in my opinion, if the Wolves have a bad start to next season, maybe after 20 games, I think he should request a trade. To those who have already disliked, no, I don't think he should request a trade right now. But again, if the Wolves start badly, if they're like 8-12 after 20 or so games, then I think he should. Also, if Wiggins again has a rough season, if he averages under 20 points again, that's another reason for Towns to leave. Minnesota has to rely so heavily on Towns if they wish to win games, and Wiggins does really nothing to help. He clearly can't be an all-star. He clearly can't be the second option on this team, not even a third either. We saw it with Butler. Yes, maybe with a new coach he'll be better. That's why Cat shouldn't ask to get out now. But if things stay the same, if there is no improvement next season, it would be smart of Karl Anthony Towns to request a trade. You might say, he got exposed by Butler, he has a bad work ethic, he's the problem. And yes, of course there are things he could improve on, but he's only young. He's got a lot of NBA time left in him. Plus, after Jimmy Butler was traded to Philly, Towns' stats went up a ton. With Butler on the team, Cat averaged below 20 points and just over 10 rebounds. After the trade, he averaged 25 and 14. Insane. He is clearly not the problem. And before I quickly wrap up this video, Towns was recently quoted as saying he loves being a part of Minnesota, but that doesn't mean anything. Take a look at Kyrie Irving, who said he'd re-sign in Boston, at Davis, who said he loved New Orleans. Statements like that mean nothing and should be taken very, very lightly. Overall though, I believe Karl Anthony Towns should request a trade this season if the Minnesota Timberwolves have no improvement. If Wiggins continues to flatline, if a new coach doesn't bring any life into this team, if they're struggling after the first 20 games of the season, it's time for him to go. We don't want him to end up like Anthony Davis, a player who wastes his early career on a terrible organization. We're beginning to see the potential in a Booker trade, but if things don't improve in Minnesota, we might see the potential of a Towns 1-2. But what do you guys think of this? Should Karl Anthony Towns request a trade, or should he wait it out in Minnesota? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop it a like and subscribe. But with that being said, I am out. Peace.